Yeah, the first time I got hit by music as a kid was when my grandmother gave me this kind of, what they're called like blue spot machines. It's like a radio and a turntable and a magazine rack. It's like furniture. The 7 inches from this big stack of 7s that I ended up liking really are like the music I like now. So it makes me think that I liked it already. Like there was blues, the blues stuff, Little Red Rooster by the Stones, I liked that one a lot. I liked I Am the Walrus by the Beatles the most, which is all psyche and inventive, and I like Chuck Berry because it was like dancey, and it's really weird that I think you can trace all of my tastes back to this bunch of 7s. Even at 7 years old, I liked blues, psych, and dance music.
Not to ask the question that's been on your lips all the way.
I started as a DJ and a producer and making techno, which was all about revolution, and the first computer we used was an Atari 520, which had half a meg, that's 520K of power. That could run like 2 synths, MIDI. And we did a whole record on that, got signed and did that, that was great. Terrible record. But we were reinventing, as in like all of those electronic guys in that time were reinventing absolutely everything with what a press shot was. You didn't have a press shot, it was lame. You didn't use your real name because that was lame. You didn't need a record company because you just start your own one and press up the records and sell them in shops. I mean, we literally tried to change like every process. And some did great, Orbital and like The Orb and Aphex. There's some awesome names came out of this moment, Moby. But after I signed to an indie tune after that period in my life, and got into DJing and sampling, and sampling leads you to other forms of music because you need to find drum beats, you need to find keyboard parts, you need to find horn riffs or whatever you're looking for. So you have to go, dig around and find all these old records. And our idol at the time was DJ Shadow, because on his record he had this just him digging in a wicked little record store, and that led me to a love of fusion and jazz, and that completely opened my mind from like rave culture, and I got into sort of rare groove and break beats and all that. And then dance music kind of splintered off, and then we all got into our different genres. I did that for a bit, did a bit of drum and bass and stuff. And then after sort of 8 years of DJing in the clubs around the world, man, I was just not burnt out, but just bored of it. The lifestyle elements and the working hours were pretty rough. Not when you're 20, you don't go in on at 5 a.m.'s no problem, but when you're 30 and it's your 28th gig of the year already, and you're like, I just can't be arsed anymore. So I just fell out of love with it, which was really difficult because that was like everything. It was what I liked to do for fun. It was what I did for a living. It's what I did when I wasn't doing it, was it anyway. And I loved record shopping on a Saturday and playing in the clubs Saturday, Sunday, and I'd do my day job and fly off somewhere on Friday, then fly somewhere on Saturday, come back on Sunday, back to work on Monday for years. And then one day, just hated it. And so I had to rebuild everything, all my whole life. So I moved down to Brighton, which is by the sea, out of London, and grew a beard, bought some sandals, and the folk thing was inevitable really after that. And it was becoming really cool. Like, Jose Gonzalez's Veneer album was so, it made it cool. It's really weird to say that now, but it really did. A load of us heard that in 2004 or 2005 or something. And because we'd all listened to D'Angelo's Voodoo, we'd all listened to Erykah Badu, and all gone through the new soul Lauryn Hill thing, but we weren't black soul musicians. But then Jose put out Veneer, and all of us, everybody loved it. And all of a sudden, it was cool to be a singer-songwriter. So I thought, if it's cool, you know, I'll try that. Yeah, the importance of a producer is totally paramount. It's almost like how important is a director of a movie. It really is. Because at the end of the day, it is just a camera and actors and a script, and surely you just point it and the actors do their thing and it comes out looking great. But the difference between Scorsese doing that and Tarantino doing that is epic. You have same script, same actors, same camera. It's the same with producers. We love Billy Bush for the last 2 records because he enables us to play everything live. That's his skill set. So he allows us to, we spend 3 or 4 days setting up the room so that at any moment we can just go in there and it's happening. And we can play all at the same time. So most of the record's live. But a lot of producers don't do it that way, just like photographers. Some photographers just press the button, take 1,000 shots and one of them's good. Others just sit there and wait for you to do something interesting and then go click, you know? But Billy's the kind of guy where it's just like, everything's set up, get you set, then it's all about the artist getting yourself into the right frame of mind for the song, because it's got to be the best performance of the song, ever, forever, and it'll often be the first time you've done it. So you got to get yourself into the right space and then do it as live as possible, which is why it's so nice to play these records live, because it's kind of like they're on the record. Just got to play it good. Studio time's awesome because we did the album in 17 days. We did the last one in 16 days, and this allows you to go into this allows you to play at the level of the big boys, but you can't afford 6 months, right? But you can afford like 2 weeks at that level. So the producer at that level, studio at that level, 2 weeks, 10 tracks, it's doable. I mean, the Beatles did Rubber Soul in a weekend or something, you know, and so it's totally doable. And the key is to get everything written before you go in, because writing in the studio is the most expensive songwriting in the world. It's $1,000 a day just for the guy to press the record button, and then there's everything else. So we try and get everything written beforehand. And we had 2 moments where it wasn't written. So, because we want to capture the essence of the time. So the 2 tracks of that were White Flag and Pilgrim, which were in pieces when we got there. But we knew that when we were there and we were all warmed up and everything was set up and we were in a nice place, we could nail it and get into it. MP3s and Spotify and the streaming sites are great because you can window shop anything you like at any moment, and if you like it, then you can go and buy it, and if you really like it, that gives you a great excuse to go to that lovely little indie store, and you know what you're going to get. You're going to get the Tom York record or the Daughter album, whatever it is, but you can have a little look around, and it's kind of old school, and I mean, eBay and all of these bid sites, they're amazing. I mean, over Christmas this year, I got into Public Image Limited quite heavily, and so I went on Spotify and listened to all of their records and went on eBay and bought the first 3 because they were really cool. And all of that happened in the space of an afternoon, and I didn't have to leave my apartment, which is so cool. So yeah, I mean, MP3s, if you're listening to music on a pair of crappy gym headphones out of your phone, it doesn't matter, really. But if you're listening to music on a beautiful pair of Auderzy, you know, sort of walnut dash kind of mega headphones out of a sound card, then yeah, you can really hear the difference, sure. But nothing beats vinyl at the end of the day.